there was a moment I did worry that Robert Zemeckis was going to put me in a fat suit and give me white hair and a big button nose and a red coat.
Hi, Luke. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm great. You know, this movie, it's so much fun. It's another one of these recreations of the animated movies where they're pretty faithful to what came before, but they also find room to play and do fun things and new things. And your Coachman really falls into that space. What can you tell me about the changes and what you bring to it?
Well, I remember signing up to the job and then going back and watching the original and realizing, oh, yeah, this Coachman is going to be probably the most different character in the whole thing than anyone else. And that was exciting, you know, and there was a moment I did worry that Robert Zemeckis was going to put me in a fat suit and give me white hair and a big button nose and a red coat. But that clearly was not the case. And we got to create this amazing creature with rotten teeth and sweaty face and dirty nails and sweaty hair and this big ominous wax coat and big hat, and it was really, really fun. And I got to do cable work and flying over the kids on the coach and then take them to this extraordinary place which, you know, only the imagination of Rob Zemeckis would be able to build and create. And it's really magical, and it does sort of the energy of the story really changes at that moment, you know, when these kids, you know, their eyes just pop out of their heads when that ramp comes down and they run into that world of chaos, basically. And
what was that Pleasure Island like? Because it looks spectacular on screen, and you get to be up in there in different roles too, right?
Yeah, and we shot in an enormous studios, which were actually airship hangars. From many years ago, so they're enormous places, and the set of the Pleasure Island was huge, absolutely huge. We had a gondola that would float through, and lots of trapdoors, and yeah, really brilliant stuff. And it was choreographically it was quite complex as well for us for me to learn stuff. But yeah, it was really enjoyable. And we actually didn't have the Ferris wheel and all of that stuff, but we did have a lot of set pieces which really helped, especially the kids, the kid actors to you know, really feel the energy and the excitement of being in a place where they could just, you know, cause chaos.
Oh, totally. And I'm always curious whenever there's such a practical set, I mean, partly practical involved. Did you take anything home with you? Was there anything that you had your eye on while you were days?
I didn't take anything home with me. I don't think I did. Maybe I should have taken the rotten teeth, but that'd have been good for Halloween, I think. But no, I didn't want to.
Yeah, well, you know, your Coachman is very, you know, he reminds me of almost like an evil Willy Wonka combined with Jack Sparrow. It's very fun. Yeah. And it's also very different from your Gaston role. You played a villain in these movies before. How did it compare for you?
Oh, very different, completely different. I mean, this was Beauty and the Beast didn't feel, I mean, it was full live action apart from the CGI clock and candle and the beast. It felt very much more like we were living within the real world most of the time, where this story felt almost, for me, all of it felt very much CGI. Even though we had a coach and we had real kids, around us was blue screen a lot of the time. And when I'm riding the beasts chasing the Pinocchio to the edge of the cliff, you know, I mean, if you could have seen what that really was, it would ruin the whole fantasy. But it was all hydraulics and gimbal machines and somebody holding onto chains so that I didn't fall off, and wind machines and all of that stuff. So it takes a big imagination and a lot of commitment to believe it yourself, for the people that watching it to believe that it's all real.
Absolutely. And, you know, I've got to ask, you know, you've had such a great relationship with Disney. You've been part of these movies. I'm also conscious that Disney's got a few other worlds, Star Wars and Marvel. Do you ever see yourself playing a villain in one of those maybe in the future? I know the Doctor Doom one sometimes comes up.
Yeah, why not? I mean, villains, heroes, creatures, who knows? I'm open to it. I'm very much someone who doesn't... I'm open to any ideas, any kind of new roles. I'm always excited about it. I do love those films. I love those series and those franchises. They're very interesting, and I'm a big fan of what they've done with them. And yeah, I mean, who knows what they're thinking, if they're thinking anything at all.
I'll keep quiet on that. Are there other heroes in the Disney animated movies that you would like to play on screen someday? Just as this kind of always seems to work so well.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love this relationship I have with them, and I'm very honored to be asked to come back. And there's not many actors who've actually played two villains in two different Disney live action movies. So that in itself is an achievement, and I'm very proud of that. I guess the nirvana would be to create a brand new character and to be in a brand new, either an animation and be the voice of it, or a real character and with new music and new songs for a new generation. That would be something that would be really special to do.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our Narcity channel to see more great content.